Hello all, and welcome to Proudland, where it is all of Proud, a third of our guest Ursinity.
This is so forced.
And 17% of me.
This is
of
so
course it's forced.
bad.
It's forced every single week.
Intros has to be forced.
I don't know how to bring in a show or be on a show or end a show. I think that's been pretty well noted by now. Anyway, I am here with Proud, excited.
I'm fucking pumped.
That sounded forced. No, didn't at all.
No, it just sounded insincere, which is vastly different from forced.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
There was a very natural insincerity that came out of my mouth.
I'm fucking pumped. So we have Ursinity on today. Ursinity, welcome to the show.
Hey, babe.
Thank you. Good to be here.
What's up, girl?
How you doing?
They're regular. Let's see. We're recording on a Sunday. Nothing interesting has happened. I don't have any good stories.
I'll ask that Tuesday.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm sure I'll get into some kind of hijinks tomorrow while I'm at work. Okay. That'll be super interesting, I'm sure.
Oh, dude. I had quite the weekend. For Denny's birthday was yesterday, or Saturday. He's selling his old place, and he needed a new toilet. And so I've installed toilets before because every weekend I'm doing some new job, some new project with my dad. That's how we hang out, is we build shit. This weekend we put studio lighting in the shed. Anyway, so I'm like, yo, Dad, help me install this toilet. We get the toilet there, and I crank too hard, and it just cracks the toilet, the brand new one, after we threw the old one away. So I had to buy 2 toilets for Denny for his birthday.
Yeah.
Install them both.
Do you want to know an interesting fact about toilets in America?
Sure.
Toilets are one of the most trafficked, illegally, non-drug related things in America, because American toilets have specific water pressure, what's it called? Caps.
Requirements?
Yeah,
caps?
Requirements. Okay. But if you traffic them in through, whatever border you choose, you can avoid those water pressure limits, and
so you can get more water pressure for your toilet, so it sucks down your stuff better.
Yeah, and it's just basically.
Huh. It was the worst thing. The toilet was already installed. There's this wax ring you got to do. It's really not that hard to install a toilet. It's just kind of a dirty job. Pun intended.
Is it really? Because they're pretty clean until you apply excrement.
No, the wax ring, all the shit that's under the old toilet that never gets cleaned is nasty, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So you have to clean that
I was thinking
surface.
just straight up, installing a new toilet, that makes sense.
No,
but a fresh building, unfucking marred by the touch of humanity's sloth, that's a clean job. But if you're replacing a toilet, that sounds like a kind of negative situation to be involved in.
The new toilet was nice, and it was, there was it has 2 options, a number 1 flush option and a number 2 flush option. Yeah. Saving the world.
How many points of articulation does your toilet have?
And I got in toilets, and I got in all this stuff, and so
I don't give a shit anymore. We're done with this one.
This conversation's over. Fucking thing, and then water just went everywhere.
Yeah, all right.
And it was dangerous. I fucked my thumb up. Anyway,
I want to talk about Dota.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Dota. That was 4 minutes. You talk about frog tapestries that are alive that you're feeding them individually for
that's
14
interesting.
minutes.
That's good history. This is just talking about fucking toilets.
Okay, I fucking... No good deed goes unpunished.
I'm the voice of the people here, okay?
No good deed goes unpunished.
We have this whole meeting about how we're going to revitalize fucking Proudland.
Okay, we're going to...
tell me about goddamn toilets and shit.
God damn it. You were quiet as a mouse in the meeting, and now you're...
That's how bored I was. Here we are.
Shut up.
Here I am.
So you guys, we're terribly sorry because I listened to the last 3 shows. I haven't been listening to .p, and then Proud told me to listen to .p, and I bit his head off, and then I started listening to .p.
Yeah.
And I realized that the first 5 episodes of Proudland are vastly different to the last 3. And that's my fault. Because coming up with educational topics takes time, and when things got really busy, I was like, we'll just do this like durable escape nuker thing, and Proud was like, okay. And we apologize, we're scrapping that. We're going to go back to the roots of being fully educational, which is why I wanted Ursi on here to help me. Because I want Ursi and Proud to be basically the test dummies, because they are dummies.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. I was going to say I'm testy.
Yeah, you are testy.
Yeah, I'm more dummy, he's more testy.
Yeah. The test dummies for going over a game. Now, it's really hard to put yourself, even somebody that's as bad at Dota as I am, in the role or in the shoes of somebody who's brand new. There's, I mean, I still dive and stuff like that, but at least I know it's bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's like having an old dog that, like, the dog knows he shouldn't be digging holes in the yard, but he still does it. Like, that's kind of like me. But some people literally just, that's what they're supposed to do, or they're supposed to shoot creeps, or they're supposed to right click. And so today, seeing as MMR is on the mind of everybody, we want to, I mean, of course, there's no god tier answer of this is, you pick this hero, you buy these items, and you win. That's not how Dota works.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. I guess Ember Spirit for a little while, Troll for a little while, way back when, Sniper for
Omni
a little while,
forever.
Leshrac for a little while. Disco Pony was killing it with them bouncing on that. But yeah, for right now, there's no one king of the heroes. There probably is, but we're gonna pretend there isn't.
Yes, Terrorblade.
Yeah, Terrorblade is fucking awesome. I bought his Arcana
Predicted it,
because I had
called
such a
it.
good game.
Fucking
I bought
called
his Arcana
it.
today also.
Really? I was like, dude, he's so good. I'm gonna buy his Arcana.
Yeah, I was
I had
streaming.
one
I felt
good
like
game.
a dunce without it, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, impulse buy.
It's a good Arcana, and it's one of the older ones. Like that Lena Arcana. Although the way you've used it, Ursi, I'm not gonna get off track. But I looked at your Lena and was like, damn, that's more expensive than the clothes I'm wearing now. Like your
My
Lena
Lena's pretty cool.
Your Lena is more expensive than literally like what I'm wearing as a person.
That's why I
Which
like
is-
the Dota Buff Cosmetics section so much, because I never lose.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm playing support. If I'm playing support, it immediately shoots up to like $500 of net worth as of my Jumo.
Oh my god.
Net worth.
Yeah, real net worth, not Dota net
Actual
worth, money net worth.
Yeah, real
USD
money
net
that
worth.
you'll never get
Yeah.
back.
No,
Unless
the
somebody,
Terrorblade Arcana is like the only good Arcana right now, in my opinion. It's like the only one.
Oh,
it's
dude,
like,
Zeus has a great Arcana, and so does Jug. I love
Zeus,
Jug's
maybe
red
the Jug
Arcana.
one. The
I
fucking
love the red version.
like the fact that the green happened lowers its worth drastically.
Well, and then people were like, "This," and
I'm not
Yeah,
saying good as in like looks cool, but like is true to what I think the Arcana should be. It's like an alternative base model, or whatever, but that's still the hero. But it's just like, oh, what if we had like a fucking crazy ass model instead of the regular one? Because it's just like the Terrorblade Arcana is just Terrorblade, but also it's dope as shit.
dude,
Yeah.
it's Juggernaut after like getting shot in the head, basically. Like, I hate to
Sick.
be like graphic, but like it's kind of like that.
It was actually clocked in the head by Sven specifically, according to
Yeah, so, like,
unreleased
and it's
voice
just-
lines.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's like literally what it is. He got hit by
Oh.
the Educator's blade, and his mask cracked open, and a spirit came out or something.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today, Proud is going to be playing core, and Ursi is going to be playing support. And we're not going to actually play a game, but I am going to try and
We just
funnel
act it
my
out. Have an improv session.
Yes, I'm going to try and funnel my newbiness on going through a game with you guys, and asking questions as we go through the different phases. Generally, what you should be buying. I've noticed that I buy similar items in all the cores that I play when I play safe lane core, safe lane carry. And
TMS
I
Tango
noticed
every
that
game.
I usually go double Tango Stout and then pick up the bounty and buy the Quell. But these are questions that I'm
Yeah,
going to
no
leave
one-
to Proud.
No one starts PMS Tango.
Well, I
No
mean,
one-
you're right, but
Some
I am.
sometimes you start double slippers.
Very rarely.
Double
people
slippers is
start-
what people
yes.
do.
Yeah, sometimes you start
double
double slippers.
slipper, 2-piece of regen.
But I don't even know that because I'm a brand new player, and Ursi is our
Buying 8 tangos,
our
God.
5 support. Ursi is our 5 support. Hello, Ursi, the 5 support.
My true role. My favorite
We
role.
are not going to put. I have no idea what hero you are. I also have no idea what Proud is. But game just loaded in. What are we generally buying here? You're
Brad,
going
you
up
wanna go
against.
first, or shall I?
What am I buying? I'm the safe lane carry. I'm this nondescript motherfucker.
You're
Well,
nondescript.
I'm a super nondescript right now. So I'm buying whatever I need to like be able to stay in the lane.
Let's use Centaur as your offlane example. Okay? You're going up against a Centaur and you know it's
Okay.
a solo Centaur.
All right, it's a solo Senticent. Well, I'm buying. All right, so there's a couple things I need to keep in mind. Like what am I trying to do? One, I'm trying to get farm, and 2, I'm trying to like not leave the lane. So I need what's going to keep me in the lane for like an extended period of time, and what's also going to give me the ability. So it's like I want to farm, and I also want to stop who I'm laning against farming. So I need to what can keep me in the lane and also keep me in a position where I could be contesting or at least like strong enough to make the person that I'm against the off laner kind of upset. So and I want to get the stuff that I could only get or that I need at the start of the laning phase, and also stuff that I can only get from the in-base shop, because I can get other stuff like from the side shop later. But with my opening 625, I need like specifically things I can only get there and things that I need until I can get to the side shop. So I want like 2 pieces of regen. I can't get regen anywhere else. If I'm going to need regen, I need to buy it at the start because I'm not entitled to the fucking courier until like 5 minutes into the game.
Mm-hmm. Do you consider Fairy Fire regen?
No.
You consider Mango's regen?
A little bit. Yeah,
Like if you say 2
degree.
pieces, if you say 2 pieces,
No. When I say 2 pieces of regen, I mean like
health regen?
Specifically tangos and salves. That's the only thing. Yeah, so 2 pieces of regen as in health regen to like major ways to regenerate my health pool, not like, oh, fairy fire, I'm about to die. Oh, I fairy fired, I lived. Like that's not going to keep me in lane. You know, that's not like, there's no point hitting this guy. He's got fucking 20 tangos still left over. What's the point? But if there's a fairy fire, you're like, yo, we can kill him. He fairy fired. Kill him. Doesn't matter. So yes, you need shit like that.
So quick question on the PMS heroes. How are you going about playing the PMS heroes? Like say you were a PMS core for this sidebar instance.
Yeah, so if I was Poor Man's Shield is an item that's getting like a ton of attention right now. A lot of people think it's going to get nerfed, but it's an item that like does what Stout Shield does for the most part. When you get hit by things, it blocks a flat amount of their damage, and percentage wise, like the lower damage something is, so Poor Man's Shield I think blocks 20. Stout Shield's a bit less, but if you like get hit by a creep and it blocks their damage, a creep does about 23, I think, like a melee creep does. So it'll go down to doing 3 damage. That's like an absurd, like it's doing, I don't know, like 10% of its damage or some shit like that through your Stout Shield, which is wild incredible. Whereas if a hero hits you, a hero that does like 50 damage or something, you're cutting off like 40% of their damage. That's insane. It's a shit ton to reduce for only 500 goddamn gold.
And it does depend on if you're ranged or melee, how much you're getting cut off.
Melee heroes. It's the normal amount. As a ranged hero, it's like half, and that's sort of the mechanic to say, all right, ranged heroes are just kind of like, it's way better to be ranged than melee because that's just how it is. However, if you like to balance it out, melee heroes can build stout shields. So basically, because Dota's a decently balanced game, you have to say, okay, so the only reason that melee heroes are viable in large, or one of the main reasons, is because they do have access to the stout shield and Poor Man's Shield by extension. So if you are one of these heroes who wants this item, obviously it's an item that blocks damage. The idea is if you're a hero that's going to be taking auto attacks through either creeps or heroes, that item is going to be pretty beneficial. But if you're not going to be taking any damage, then it's not really going to be. So if you are a quote unquote PMS hero, that's coming with the assumption that you are a hero that like the reason that Poor Man's Shield is super good compared to Stout Shield is that instead of like a percentage chance to block, like it blocks 40% of creep hits, but against hero hits going from the Stout to the Poor Man's Shield, it blocks 100%. So like if I do 50 damage and Centaur does 50 damage and we're hitting each other, but I have a poor man's shield. He's hitting for 30 and I'm hitting for 50. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that after a couple auto attacks, I'm going to be fucking great, and Centaur is going to begin limping.
Sure.
So if you are going to be trading with a hero and you want to decisively win those trades, then you do want the poor man's shield. But you can, as we said, you want to, with your starting gold, you want to buy what you need early, and what you need, what can only be bought at the in-base
Home
fountain.
shop.
The home base shop compared to the side shop. So you can't buy the slippers of agility. Poor man's shield is 2 slippers and the stout shield. You can't buy the slippers at the side shop. You can only buy them in base, but you can buy the stout shield at the side shop. So you say, okay, I need regen, 2 pieces of health regen, 2 pieces of consumable major, like a salve or a tango, or salve and a tango rather. So you buy salve, tango, and then you can buy the slippers in base. You need that poor man's shield so you can start trading as quickly as possible. So you buy stout, or you buy tango, salve, and then the 2 slippers of agility. And then you head out, get your rune or whatever at the 0-minute mark, and then go get your stout shield kind of as soon as the lane starts, and then bam, you're in lane with a poor man's shield, and the tango and salve. And now you can like aggressively fight the enemy off laner, assuming you're a hero that does want a poor man's shield.
So before we move on to Ursi's item choices, I have one more question, and I'm going to narrow it down to Juggernaut. Juggernaut is a hero that wants a mango and is a poor man's shield hero.
Yes.
What do you do in that circumstance?
I've just been getting a clarity personally, and just kind of not been getting the mango.
Okay.
One of the major Juggernaut builds right now is, I guess kind of the main one is poor man's shield, phase, Aquila, and a wand. So I look at it, I say, okay, what are my options in terms of getting my mana up? What does a mango do? It gives me like a burst of mana, so that I can ensure that, maybe if I'm missing 50 mana, but I want to spin and then use my Omni Slash when I'm 6 or something, I can pop the mango and then I got it. So I look at that and I say, okay, how can I do that with what's available to me from the items that I want to build and what's available from the side shop? And I say, okay, I'm just going to try to get my stick early because I'm eventually going to build it into a magic wand. And if I have, 3 or 4 wand charges, that plus a clarity to kind of like, maybe in lane, I use my spin twice and my healing ward, and I push the lane up really far, and Centaur is under lane, and he's, going to be lasting for a while. I'll pop my clarity. I'm close to full mana. And I've got, a few wand charges. I got this wand early. Whenever I want to, like, in place of the mango that I would want to use, now I'm just going to instead pop my wand that I bought a bit earlier.
Okay, awesome. I think that's great. Okay, so Ursi, let's talk 5 support, and we can get a little more detailed if you'd like.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and hear what you have to say. Let's hear your spiel on 5 support. You did this for a very long time.
So so there are 2 basic openings, and there's 2 variations regarding supporting and supporting item builds. The one that I do in pubs when I'm solo queuing and when I don't know if I'm going to have a 4 position support to carry some of the burden, what I do basically every game now is I buy Courier, both Observers, 1 Sentry, 1 set of Tangos, 2 Clarities, and an Iron Branch. Or if I'm playing CM, or sometimes on Bane, I'll go 3 Clarities and no Branch. But the Branch is nice because you're going to be pooling your Tangos to your mid laner 9 out of 10 times. And that Branch basically equates to an extra Tango for you. And mitigates your loss of Tangos to your mid laner.
Or it's just a nice stat,
Yeah,
it's nice.
also
Super
1
flex.
stat never hurt. The other opening, though, and the classic one that we think about with when you have a combination of a 4 and a 5 that are both buying support items, is one buys Sentries and Smoke, the other one buys Courier and Obs. And so that way they're both equally sharing the 250 gold burden. But nowadays, most of your roamers want to get like an early Orb of Venom or a Windlace or something, so that doesn't happen as much as it used to. But that's also a good rule of thumb. As a support, you should
also
always...
the sentries got split up now, so there's no need for buying 2 sentries at the start.
Yeah. I mean, most games.
Courier can get in the way though, and that's another thing that we'll get into once we get into laning phase. I definitely have some questions regarding Courier pre 3 minutes.
Yeah, but anyway, so support, to wrap it all up, is don't buy real items. That's a common misconception, and it's a really bad thing to do. You gotta buy at the very most. I think I have like 2 branches at any given time, Like, if you're starting with a Windlace as a 5-position support, you are playing Dota wrong. And
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So say you have like a situation where you get a random 4, like somebody randoms a 4 and then decides to be like Santa Claus and buys the ward and 2 wards and a courier. What do you do? So
Sentry
say you have
smoke.
no burden. Oh,
if
so
you
you're
have
gonna
no
buy
burden,
Sentry
of
and
course, go for it. But it's just a common misconception that barring those outliers, you should, if there's stuff to buy, you should be buying it. Basically, none of
So
this
I'm
like
I'm
some
gonna play
people try.
noob.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
some people try to get away with they buy courier and 1 ward. They think, oh well, we only need 1, and this way I can get a Windlace, or this way I can get a salve or whatever. Don't do that. Buy both. You should never be spending less than 250 gold unless you have that one, weird one-off situation where the other person randoms and has a whole bunch of money and is feeling charitable. But in every other situation, you should always be spending, give or take 250 gold on courier and wards or sentries and smoke, any combination thereof.
I would also say, like,
I just want to play real quick, Proud.
Okay,
Devil's
fine.
advocate. I'm sorry. I'm going to play Devil's noob advocate here.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm a Crystal Maiden. I need my Tranquils. I'm not going to get courier. I want my Windlace.
Don't.
Why? Can you like quantify that more? Like from a noob's point of view, like that means I have to walk all the way back to base. Like I know that I can buy my Ring of Regen and my boots at the side shop. The only thing I can't buy there is the Windlace.
So, this is perfect, and it all actually wraps into every position, but you can do that, but you have to think of what are you sacrificing in the name of getting that Windlace, right? So, let's say you decide, okay, I want that Windlace, so therefore I'm only going to buy courier, and then I'm not going to buy anything else. My team has no wards, and I have like a set of tangos and a single clarity. And again, you're playing CM, right? CM is very balanced around getting farm in the jungle using mana, right? So if you have one clarity instead of having 2 or 3,
that's my justification. I'm just going to freeze a creep right away and I'll buy the wards. Don't worry about it.
Like, you're not going to be able to use the courier, right? Your whole argument was I can't use the courier, therefore I want to start Windlace. Right?
And that's where we get into this. Okay, so we have now journeyed our way to the lane. We've done our best in securing the extra 100 gold. Proud, you just got an extra 100 gold because you picked up a bounty rune. I feel like I'm the dungeon master of this fake Dota game.
Yeah, basically, this sounds good.
So you picked up your extra 100 gold. Ursi,
wait,
right by
Ricky
your side.
is trying to get the bounty rune. I want to roll for initiative to see whether or not I get it before he does.
I played 7 hours of D&D yesterday. Please don't D&D me right now.
It's cool. I got a 19. It's good enough.
As far as percentiles, I'm going to go up and you 57. But also another trick, you guys, that I just wanted to share with you. I'm not sure if you were aware or were unaware or if I'm wrong. If you do a crisscross pattern walking over your bounty rune, so like you have the epicenter of the bounty and then you just do a cross around it and walking, you can feel the bump of a Ricky.
Yeah.
So you can tell if there is a Ricky on top of your rune.
Yeah.
This is
collision.
something I noticed. I noticed this recently.
Yeah, that's like you do it with smoke people too. That's why there's that famous play by the Weeha who has the Wind Ranger illusion while they're moving.
Oh, that was so
because
cool.
collision is there for basically everything.
So even if Ricky's invis and you're not sure if Ricky is fucking with your bounty rune, just run yourself in all sorts of weird ways that are pathing directly over the bounty. And if you feel any collision, you know he's there. Okay, so yes, you rolled the percentiles. There's no Ricky about to steal your stuff. What did you end up buying? Proud. What are you going to the lane with? So you two health regen.
Because I'm a poor man's shield hero. Turns out I'm a fucking Slark or a Juggernaut or some shit like that.
Okay, so 300 gold went to Slippers. 125 so went to Tangos, and then 110 went.
Yeah, so I've got like 85 or something, or 90 or something left over. So part of that went to a clarity, so I've got like 140 or whatever after I get my my nice little bounty boy.
Nice.
So now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get one last hit, and then that's gonna go straight to my poor man's shield because I want to be able to like you need to plan for a number of circumstances, and one possible circumstance, and this is something I do a lot with when I have Ursi. Anytime I really have just a bad support in general, is that they may just pull the lane for no fucking reason. and you may be under tower. And you know what happens if you're a melee hero that's under tower without a stout shield? You use your salve on the first. Yeah, you use your salve on the first wave, and that's not ideal. You want to get this. What, Sam?
I mean, you just kite them in the circle around the tower, and then you take like 2 damage.
Yeah, I know you're right.
Still
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
You're still taking hits.
And I need to like stop to prime to hit it once, and they all group on me and get 1 hit off, and then the range creep is hitting me. Yeah, no, it's super. Yeah, you never take damage when you're under tower as a carry. That's right.
I mean, I'm glad you agree with me that you never take damage.
A monster appears and shuts you both up. Okay, continue, Proud.
Yeah, okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that poor man shield, and then that should come like 1 last hit, and then I get it because
can we pause here really quick?
Sure, I guess.
Because I'm going back to, I deal with this all the time. I play safe lane carry. So you get that first last hit, but there's another creep. But there's another creep that's about to die. You're not gonna waste a lot. Like, you're gonna get that other last hit and then go get it, right?
Yeah, so this is something that I've actually been working with on a pretty long time. I feel like anytime anyone who's ever played safe lane carry at all in their life knows the feeling of, oh god, I want to walk to the side shop and get that quelling blade or whatever, but this creep is about to die. Can I make it and get there? And yes, I won't get there in half the time, but I'll get boots. And then the boots will allow me to walk fast enough back to the creep wave to then get the last hit. And then, oh shit, I was off by a quarter of a second. So now what I do instead of like getting, like 1 last hit and then going, is I wait until like a few creeps have died. Because once there's only like, 1 melee creep and a ranged creep on your side and 1 melee creep and a ranged creep on their side, the creeps are going to be dying slower. So I get maybe one, maybe 2 last hits and see like, oh, is the next creep, going to die in a decent amount of time. And then after that, I'm like, okay, all right, a couple creeps have died. Now I can walk over here safely before another creep is going to die.
Okay, perfect. Ursi, what are you doing? We're probably like 0 to a minute right now. Like, what have you done since the creeps arrived at the tier 1 tower?
Have you done anything?
Okay, well, I mean, by now I already have less items, right? Just by the definition of playing my support, right? So I started with my 4 tangos, but I've already pulled 1 or 2 of them to my mid laner, so I'm down to 2 tangos and a branch, and I pulled my observer ward to my off laner. And my sentry may have been going to my mid laner if there's a roaming support, or I may still have it on me. In that case, if I have it on me, what we're doing right at the 0 minute mark, and when like what you said, when the creeps are hitting, I am trying to observe and figure out, did the offlaner ward my one of my camps, or did he ward for vision so that he doesn't get aggressed on?
In that case, no, we gotta roll it back, because you know what, Roland, you forgot what a good carry does. The fucking carry does the carry just walk up to the rune and wait there and fucking crisscross looking for that goddamn Ricky? Hell no. You know what the good carry does? The good carry, as soon as the carry buys their goddamn items, they walk their shit up to the goddamn safe lane. And then they're like, hey, you know what? They're off lane. Their off lane's probably going to come try to ward, but their off lane's going to like spam ping their 5 and say, Obs, please. Obs.
Yeah.
Can I please? Sir, please. And then eventually they'll get their obs word, and then they'll walk their slow ass down. But you don't need shit. You just walk straight there. And then their shitty little Nyx assassin comes up and he's like, I'm going to Nyx drop a ward. And then you say like, where are you going to do it, dude? And he's like, here. But they don't, because they see you there. And that, or maybe they just did and you watch them do it. And then you say, hey, Sam, there's this observer. There's one here. And then Sam says, oh, thank you so much. You're such a good carry. And then he walks up, drop his sentry, instant deward.
Yep, easy gold. Also, you can do that in mid lane. Because mid lane is very obvious when people ward uphill because it's daytime and your tower offers vision. So in many games, you will see, whatever nondescript support from the enemy team walk up, place their ward on your high ground, and then you just walk up. And also, you can do that as mid.
However, in this game, the people probably aren't so good that they're gonna like ward high ground on mid.
Yeah,
like the
I don't know. People do that at all MMRs.
Shut up, Sam.
There are like 3 people mid right now fighting over it, and like all the other lanes are lost. Like, you guys have to win your lane, or else this game's bad. You've already lost. Like, at this point, mid and off lane have been lost.
If
Okay,
you
I
want
think
to
we
be
just
super
abandoned.
pro, sure, the support can check the mid for a ward getting warded, and the
Also, mid
either
can
way,
do that.
the carry
For
is
sure.
always going to run as soon as the game starts to get your items, you run your ass right over to like where the hard camp area is, because that's pretty near where
Up that little ramp and watch.
you
and
just
wait.
like
yes.
what's going to happen? Yeah.
I do that all the time, and then people are like, at my skill level, people just think I'm conceding the bounty rune, and they're like, "Sweet, I guess he
free
doesn't want
bounty.
the bounty rune."
Yeah, and God, that's oh God, I get some fucking 6K carry who just sits in the bounty rune. And I was like, do you have there's someone warding right now that you could just walk over and look at while I chase my offlaner to give them their goddamn obs. Ugh.
Okay, so Ursi, your turn. Proud kind of described how he's getting his poor man shield, how he's waiting for the lane to slow down, or the creeps to slow down on how much damage they're doing to each other.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing right now? You're up against a centaur.
Okay.
You're probably ranged.
Yeah, Centaur's harassing me. Can you help?
We don't know that yet. I'm the DM. We don't know that yet.
Well, it's happening,
Okay.
so
immediately the first thing you do is if like I was saying, he indicates there's a ward, you de-ward with your sentry. If not, you just keep your sentry on you for if you roam or whatever. What the first move that I make is I go to side shop and I buy a TP scroll. This is especially for
What time are we talking? What
Like, as
early
fast
in
as
the game?
humanly possible.
Like the second you have
before-
50
10
gold?
seconds, like 15.
Yeah,
30.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Okay, so mid's already going bad. You're TPing.
No, it's so that if mid goes bad, I am prepared. Right.
Well, say Shadow Fiend's getting dove by like 3 people, and you're a Shadow Shaman, and you know that your shackles will lead to him living, and maybe you guys getting first blood. Are
Yeah,
you going
and-
to TP at 10 seconds, 20 seconds?
Absolutely.
Well, more like 35 seconds in the game.
Absolutely.
You
I
will?
mean, that's why. So that's exactly that situation is why you're doing this, right? And maybe that won't happen at all. But TP scrolls are like the best thing in Dota, right? It's not. It does.
And then
no
you
harm.
have it. Maybe you never make it back to that side shop because you're
Yeah.
in the jungle pulling and stacking. That's brilliant, and that's
Yeah.
something I'm going to incorporate to my play.
Yeah, and that's
Okay,
especially
continue.
yeah. You do that on every support, but it's especially true for supports that are good at rotating, like a Rubik or a Shadow Shaman or a Vengeful Spirit. You know, those that can immediately react. But even crappy supports that aren't good at reacting, you still need to have that TP scroll immediately, as fast as humanly possible, or
Okay.
whatever elemental you're playing possible. And then after that, you're going to immediately start zoning the offlaner, and you have to analyze: can I zone this offlaner? What is the trade going to be like? How much regen did they bring to lane versus how much regen do I have?
So Centaur
yeah.
got a stout, and he got Tango, and he got Quell. We're just gonna
Okay.
say
We're gonna abuse the crap out of him because that build sucks.
But you are not Shadow Shaman because Shadow Shaman does way too much right click damage right now. You're a lion.
Okay.
We're gonna say for this purpose right now. What are you right clicking him, still harassing? Because you're taking damage. He leveled return.
Yeah, you may as well, right? Like Lion is a pretty good example of a hero that's not great at this, but Lion's attack damage is not terrible, right? So this situation would be very different if that centaur had a PMS, which it gets back to what Proud was saying. But if he only has Stout and Quell, you can deal real damage to him. Whereas if he had PMS, you'd kind of be a lost cause. And if
But he's
only
running at you too, and he's right clicking you here and there, and it's like at what point do you say I can't anymore? Because like you know what I mean? He's in between the creeps. Proud's down there, making sure he gets his last hits, but you're in this weird sweet zone where the creeps haven't come. You're right click harassing him, but he's running at you while you're taking return damage as well.
just as a general rule of thumb, if what you're doing ceases to be effective, cease doing it. Right?
Okay.
So if zoning is
quotable.
working, continue to zone. If zoning is not working, make use of your ability to do things in other places.
Okay, you can't zone.
Yeah.
DM just says you can't zone.
Yeah, you can't zone, then you're going to want to make a pull or make a stack and then a pull of the small camp, rotate to a different lane. You have to do risk analysis, basically, and say, okay, I cannot zone this person, so therefore I need to be doing something else, right? Because you can't just be dicking around in the forest. You need to be doing something.
Proud, back to you. Your creep equilibrium is perfect. It is right where you want it.
As
it's
always.
not under your tower. It's not near their tower. And you just heard what Ursi said. What's your feeling here? What are you communicating to your support?
I'm whining, honestly. I'm whining like a lot.
That definitely sounds like Dota 2.
So there's some whining, but you're getting good last hits. The Centaur.
Still whining,
So
though.
Ursi attempted to harass the Centaur. He got like 3-4 pot shots before the Centaur was just like, I'm gonna run at you.
Yeah, he should have done better.
The Centaur is trying to deny, but he's really not attacking you. Centaur bought the Quill Blade. He's looking for his own last hits.
Yeah.
So he may throw like a double edge here and there, but he knows that you're a PMS hero and that he's not going to do too much on right click, and it's just going to hurt him if he double edges too much.
Right.
What are you asking? Are you asking anything of your support?
Yeah, I guess I'm like, well, so if I mean, my equilibrium's great, Centaur's not really doing shit, we're trading farm, I accept that Sam is incapable of doing anything to really help the lane, and I just take my last hits, and I guess I just use all my actions on that, and I'm just like, fuck it, go do like make a stack or something. Can't zone shit.
Okay, so
go make a stack. Just get out of my lane. Give me experience if you're not gonna fucking zone this guy.
Yeah, that's what you were just told, Ursi. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, so that's perfect, right? If they're trading, I should leave. He should get full experience. There's no point in me soaking. In that case, then I am going to, again, do a bit of analysis. Do I have kill potential if I gank mid or the off lane? Let's say I don't have either of those. I can't get any kills anywhere. I have to either A, dodge this entirely and go and steal their bounty rune. That's something you can do not all the time. If the off lane is being zoned properly, they're usually going to go get that bounty rune because they need to. But if the offlaner is being competitive...
But they're trading farm.
So
yeah.
They're never going to get that bounty rune, right? So now it's 2 minutes. I go get their bounty rune, then I go get mine. If you get theirs first, yours is less contested unless you have a jungler, I suppose. But if you have a jungler, you shouldn't be taking it anyway.
You don't have a jungler. They're losing their lanes, but they haven't gone to the jungle yet.
Yeah. So you, as the support, go get their rune, then you double back and get your rune. If after positioning aggressively and getting their rune, if then a rotation presents itself, let's say you got some XP in lane, you're level 1 and 7/8, that bounty rune pushes you to 2, you're playing Lion still, so now you have Impale and Hex, now you have kill potential, maybe that changes the equation, and then you can make a rotation. Otherwise, you just get both your runes, and then you are going to make stacks in the jungle, or either
or move mid or off lane or something like that.
Or
Proud.
you now call for the 4 to or you call for your 4 and then kill the off laner to come by.
Your 4 is like some undying that just isn't leaving off lane, and he's just he doesn't really understand.
Okay, yeah.
So Ursi just communicates to you, hey, I'm level 2. I have Hex, I have Earth Spike, and you're still trading with this Centaur trading farm.
Yeah.
Do you want him to come in and try and go for a kill?
I'm going to have to not be a unspecified carry at this point in time.
Okay, you're Juggernaut.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay, so what's the plan on killing Centaur? I'm
going to poke him, and then as soon as he starts reacting, then I'm going to start spinning. So I'm going to say, all right, I need to deal, like when you're dealing with any low level kill, it's not like, once you're level like 20 or whatever, what's the way you kill with Jug Lion? Oh, the fucking lion blinks and then he stuns, and then he fingers and I Omni Slash and they're dead. We don't have those tools. Yeah. We don't have to we need to optimize. We have a few seconds of me spinning, and then we have right clicks. And then you have the ability to kind of slow them down a bit. So you say, okay, how do we perfectly optimize this? While I'm spinning, it doesn't matter how fast Centaur is running. While I'm right clicking, we want him to be in place for as long as possible. Because if I'm right clicking, I need to be standing still for a large portion of that time. I can walk in between hits, but that's about it. So I say, okay, I'm gonna hit him until Centaur realizes that he needs to get the fuck out, and then that's when you're gonna come and you're gonna do your stun, then you're gonna do your hex, and then kind of by the end of those, I'm gonna start spinning. Unless he's getting close to the tower and I need to end this soon, then I'll just start spinning earlier. But yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Or if it looks like he's about to stomp, I'm gonna start spinning.
Does Hex slow their movement speed?
Yeah, it drops it down to what, 250? Or 100?
That.
I think it's 250. 100 is minimum move speed. I'm pretty sure maybe it is 100. I don't fucking know, dude.
It's not 100, but it's slow.
It's lower. Yeah. Okay.
It's slower than every hero in the game without boots, for sure.
It's 140. It's 140. It's Shadow Shamans is 100. Okay, so Shadow Shaman is 100. The Lion and Sheep Stick are 140. That's interesting.
That's weird.
But if they're hasted, or a
It
Lycan
stays the
Wolf.
same way. Yeah.
It's stuck there.
Yeah, there's still haste, there's
Or
still-
Darkseer
yeah.
Speed.
Okay. Okay, so the centaur doesn't die. And you guys
What the fuck?
the centaur doesn't die. It's tanky.
We rolled poorly.
Probably Sam's fault.
No, it went off well, but
I
he
had
was
level
full
2
health.
spin.
Yeah,
It-
but he
it
had
went-
boots and you didn't have boots because you bought a Quelling Blade early. You're not
Oh
confident in
my
your
god!
ability to
Why would
last
I?
it.
Then
Something
why are
like
we
that.
ganking?
Well, you called
well,
for it.
You thought you
Yeah,
thought you
no,
could
I
get the
fucked
kill.
up. You're right.
It was
I
close.
fucked up.
It was close. Like you pinged him and he was at like 2% health, and then he just went right to the shrine.
And
Zeus
your
now
Joker missed the
Sam,
Sunstrike.
Zeus
Now-
ult.
Zeus ult, no Zeus on the team,
Oh
no
my
no
God.
Sunstriker on the team, no Invoker on the
Bloodseeker
team.
runs in.
Is there
He was on
Offlane
roll at the
Spectre
time.
not have haunt yet?
No, those are all not even real heroes. They're just melee creeps in other lanes.
I knew it.
So he uses that shrine, and now Ursi, you're out of mana. What do you do?
I pop my clarity or I go back to base. Or alternatively, you look at your mid lane and say, is my mid laner going to be using a shrine soon? If so, you go to that. Otherwise, yeah, you just go back to base. And
He's
you
already
make-
used it. He's already
Okay,
used it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you either use one of your 3 clarities or 2 clarities that you bought and, a couple tangos, or you just go back to base and, accept it. If you are going back to base, if you're taking that route, you can use whatever bit of life and or mana you have to take like a couple random creeps in camps and get a little bit of farm. Especially
Yeah.
if you're a
But-
CM. That's
Not
like the
interested
one
in
outlier.
suiciding? You don't want to
But
suicide?
Not anymore.
Proud spinning just fucked the creep equilibrium.
Yeah, it
Now it's
honestly
pushing
ruined
straight to the
everything.
tower.
Well, that's his
That's
problem.
why I'm pissed off.
So, are you before you go home? Are you going to do a poll?
Yeah, if we have to. Yeah, that's definitely an option.
Yeah, and you fucked my
Okay.
creep equilibrium up. Might as well pull.
Well, the spinning and the earth
Right-clicking
spike
the
is definitely
centaur.
gonna push that.
Yeah, anytime you go for a kill attempt, this is why, like, as an offlaner, like the Skrunk special, as it's come to be known, whether that's flamey or not, is dying level 1 as the offlaner just to fuck up their creep equilibrium, and then it all pushes into your tower, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever, I like fed 100 gold, but hey, now creeps are under my tower, and I get level 2 for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime you try to kill someone, it's almost always gonna fuck up your creeps completely.
Yeah. And that's why shrines are so OP as the offlaner, right? Because you can do the Skrunk special without dying, barely escape, then you
Oh,
use
it's not the
shrine.
Skrunk special anymore.
Yeah. And then you use shrine, and then they've expended all these resources. They don't have a shrine they can use. You just leave, pick up your shrine, use that, and then suddenly you're in an advantageous position.
Okay, so Proud, you've been farming really well. You have your
Classic.
phase, you have your PMS,
Finally, I bought
and
my
you want your
boots.
Aquila. You have your Aquila. You've got
I
it
have money
basically
for
built.
it.
You have money for your Aquila.
Yeah, dude.
But the mid is what are you doing here? Like, how are you negotiating this with the mid?
All right, so here's how it goes when
For
you
courier.
want as a safe laner. So using the courier as a safe laner is an ancient art that I have since mastered. So I think, okay, now what items does this here me, the Juggernaut? What items do I need from the base? And I'll put my quick buy. I'll shift click my Aquila and my wand. And I'll say, all right, which of these can I get from the side shop? Which of these can I only get in base? So the entire Wraith Band I need to get in base. The Ring of Protection I need to get in base.
Only the
And
Sage's Mask at this point.
yeah, the Sage Mask is the only thing I can buy at the side shop. And then for the wand, I need the stick that I can get from the side shop. But from the base, I need 2 branches and a circlet. So I look at how much gold I have. I click on the mid because I'm very good, and I say, okay, mid has their bottle. Mid has their boots, but looks like they're gonna try to buy like they have their Midas recipe already. So I need to, but they're maybe but they still are 450 gold away from the glove to finish their Midas. So I need to take my items like now. I don't have time to wait for everything. So I say, okay, what do I mainly want out of the Aquila? I want the ability to push my lane. I want to be able to put pressure. So I don't have much money yet, but I have enough for like the Ring of Protection and like half the Wraith Band. So I'm just gonna buy that shit up now. Or Ring of Protection and like one of the circlets or something like that. So I get Ring of Protection, I get the circlet, and then and like a clarity or something. And I just send that shit over, and then I finish my my Bassi at the side lane. And then I say, okay, that's as much as my Aquila I can get now because my mid's gonna need the courier in a second. If I have like all the money for everything, that's a kind of uninteresting question because I just like buy it and then I send it over. Unless the mid like is 50 gold from their Midas. or whatever, and then I would just load the items onto the courier and just leave it and wait for my mid to take their Midas, and after they get their Midas, then I'll take the courier.
Well, what about Ursi running home? I mean, is that something that you guys utilize often when you play together? That like, hey Ursi, I have this Aquila and mid needs the courier for sure because it's an invoker and he's about to get his Midas.
Yeah, if
Is
I'm
this something that's running
communicating
through your mind?
and I'm like, yo, I'm going home. Does anyone need any items? If it's Ursi, he's probably not going to say anything, and it'll just kind of be a wasted trip.
Yeah.
Okay,
you're not wrong. I always forget to do that.
We're pretending that communication is good between the two of you.
Yeah.
Ideally, yes, you do that. Right.
Yeah, you say, hey, I'm going home.
Trips.
Yeah, like when I'm playing support, anytime I die, I always ping my safe lane. I'm like, drop any items that you need, or like, I will bring you a salve because I died because we just had a fight, and it's like, I'll bring you a salve if you want to buy one, but I can't afford it myself, and then they'll buy a salve, and then I'll go over and give it to them.
Okay, so you're hitting 6, Ursi, you're like level 4, and now the mid Shadow Fiend.
Took so much of my experience.
The mid Shadow Fiend is like, I've won this lane, I can now leave, and Centaur is asking for ganks, and now you're dealing with
Wait,
one of their
our mid
supports-
Shadow Fiend or their mid Shadow Fiend?
Their mid Shadow Fiend.
Oh, no.
Their mid Shadow Fiend won.
Fuck.
Flame
and now
our mid laner, first
What
off.
level is he?
He's leveled,
8?
7. We'll assume he's level
He's
7 or 8.
Jesus, what a bad mid. Okay.
How did our TA
He's
lose
7.
that matchup? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the TA lost the matchup. The Shadow
Holy
Fiend
shit.
and Centaur are now here. Centaur is also level 6 because he's been soloing and trading.
Yeah, he has.
How are you? And Ursi just barely TP'd back in. And Stampede's coming straight at you. What are you doing here? How is this being handled?
We're retreating to those goddamn trees to the, we're Radiant, right? I'm assuming we're Radiant.
Yeah, you're Radiant.
Those
That's
trees
kinda how
south
I
of our
found the
tower,
first one.
we're gonna fucking walk around that shit. I'm gonna use my coiling blade. I'm gonna cut paths and we're just gonna fucking juke and jive. I'm gonna drop my healing ward. I'm gonna move my healing ward around to get vision so our tower can keep hitting those goddamn motherfuckers. And we're not gonna do shit. Anytime they see Ursi's gonna stun in a line and he's gonna walk somewhere else, and our tower's gonna try to whittle him down. Once they see me, I'm spinning my shit off and I'm running.
Okay, so how often in 5K would you see like 3 heroes dive those trees beneath the tower?
Pretty
Often.
often.
Is that often?
I want to
Like
say
often.
17 times a game from my
Okay.
experience.
So-
Because I'm Spectre and I'm dying.
So cutting paths and whatnot, as a lion, 2 raises are going to kill you. 1 raise is basically going to kill you.
Yeah.
What is your main plan? Are you trying to run to your tier 2? What's your plan, Ursi?
If I can
or is
run
it-
to my tier 2, yeah, that's safer.
You don't even got
Otherwise,
boots, dude. You're not going to do that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
so
a, that's
usually
a
I'm
fool's
not gonna do
plan.
it. Yeah, and so then you don't do that, and then you hide with Proud in his nondescript carry
With me?
behind the tower, and then if they dive you guys, then you make a ruckus so that Proud can escape. And
Yeah.
you die for his
So
sins.
are you guys just yelling right now at your team? TPs, 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 TPs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just ping. Whenever bad shit's going on, I just fucking ping my shit off.
yeah. You yell
Yep.
3 bot, 4 bot, need help.
help,
whatever.
help. Or
Yeah.
split push. Help or push.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 options.
Okay, so fight goes your way. Shadow Fiend dives too deep. You happen to get an Omni Slash. That's good on the Shadow Fiend. You get a
God
bunch
bless.
of gold. Sam does die. We'll say it's a 1-for-1, but Shadow Fiend gets away. So now it feels like laning phase is
Centaur
starting
gets
to
away.
end.
I killed the Shadow Fiend.
Centaur gets away. You killed the
Okay.
Shadow Fiend, but Sam died in the midst of the clash.
I don't want to lose my kill here.
Remember me as a
So-
hero.
We do remember you as a hero. You don't have. I mean,
Certainly not a champion.
You were alive for Shadow Fiend to die. You're level 5.
Wow,
You
nice.
got the AOE gold as well.
Good shit.
Is laning phase over?
Oh, I mean, yeah, potentially.
What even is the laning phase, you know?
I don't know, but it's a
Well,
name, and I would like to know
Yeah, no,
more about it.
laning phase is pretty over. I'd say like the second
Yeah.
the first major clash starts and like the I'm gonna say just kind of like the environment or the like the habitat of these lanes gets disrupted by new actors.
Yeah.
Then that shit's over.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
sometimes that engagement will happen at like 5 minutes, and a laning phase is still very much on, but it's an off-lane Darkseer, and they're diving you because they have a roaming Spirit Breaker, and the mid got a rune. And then all that happens, you kill Shadow Fiend, whatever, but then laning phase resumes, 30 seconds later.
It
But
kind of
in the case
depends
that you're
on.
describing, yes, laning phase is over.
It's like mostly depends on where the people who died decide to TP next. Because if Shadow Fiend goes back mid and Shadow Fiend just died and TA has like a nice advantage on the Shadow Fiend now, Centaur comes back mid and I have like I get I healing ward up and I have my fresh clarity that I brought since I brought like whatever I needed to finish my my Bassi and a clarity because I have foresight, and then I use my my clarity and I use a healing ward. I'm back to full. Centaur's back to full. Our mid lane matchups back in full swing. No one TP'd from our off lane or whatever because they didn't have TPs, and our Undying is still being worthless top. Then for all intents and purposes, I guess the laning stage is still going, but I don't know if I would call it the laning stage at that point so much as just like some dudes chilling in a place.
So you have your Aquila. Is it off or is it on?
That's just off. It's just a Bassi for now because the mid needed their Midas.
Oh, okay. But after killing Shadow Fiend, I mean, you
the courier's free now and it's flying. So yeah, I'll finish my Aquila. I just used my clarity to healing word myself up. I'm gonna get another clarity sent because I'm a good carry and I often have clarities on me. I used the gold. I finished my wand. I finished my Aquila, fresh clarity TP, and I'm like, ooh, I'm a nice pristine juggernaut, all fully recovered from that engagement.
Nice. Okay, so I want to take a real quick pause here. So you feel like you should be buying regen up. Is there like a certain minute marker, a certain time in the game where you stop buying regen?
Depends on the hero, but I'm buying clarities at 40 minutes on Lycan right now.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of times like I had a really bad lane on Sven recently, and I had like brown boots and morbid mask. Like that's how bad I needed regen because I just needed to go like jungle and shit. And I did a hard camp and it took out most of my health. And I bought a salve at like I want to say like 8 minutes, and I just had it sent out to me so I could do another camp before like walking back to base just to be slightly more efficient. Like I don't stop build. Like if I'm ever missing a bunch of health and I want to go do something and I can't do it because I'm missing health, I would rather have 100 less gold than be incapable of doing something. So I'm kind of at a point right now, and a lot of players are at this. If you watch like Pro Dota, it will not be uncommon to see like, someone's mid laning and they just had some scuffle, but no one really died. And it's like 11 minutes in and the shrine's down and they don't have like a bottle or rune or whatever. That mid will just buy salve and then they're at full health and they're ready for the next thing to do. I do shit like that all the time now.
Okay, so basically for the newer players, don't be afraid to eat your net worth.
Yes.
It means that you're staying to get experience, because experience is good, very good too. Maybe better than it ever has been.
Of course, the idea of like, there's the idea that you want to regen items so that you don't need to like continually do shit like that. Like if I'm farming on anti-mage, of course, I don't want to be spending, I don't want to buy 6 salves during the laning phase. I want to get that ring of health and just, call it. But if it's going to be like, if it's like a one-time thing, like, a fight just happened. Now I'm going to just buy 1 salve and that's fine. Like that's a different kind of story. Or, I just need this one little crutch to get over to me never needing to do this again. Like that kind of thing is okay.
For sure. Okay, Ursi, you're back alive. You're level 5 because of the Shadow Fiend fight. Centaur goes top. He feel like, I don't know, everybody's going top because that Undying's pinging everywhere and it's like, we can kill. You guys now are, it's just you and Lion, Juggernaut and Lion in the bot lane. Mm-hmm. Are you flipping that Aki on? Are you trying to get a tower? Like, is that your goal? Is that tower? What's the goal? What's the next goal here?
So as soon as as a carry, there are a couple things you want to do. You want to be farming as fast as possible. And if you cannot farm any so in Dota you just want to push everything to its limits, and the amount of things that you the metrics of success that you're having as a carry are 1, how much farm you are taking in, how much presence you are like forcing from your opponents to devote to you, if that makes sense. Like how many resources you're devoting, you're forcing your opponents to devote to you, and through that, like how much are you killing motherfuckers. So let's say the only farm available to me is that one hard camp next to the safe lane, and that respawns once every 2 minutes, which fucking sucks. And the lane creeps in front of me. So if I'm farming creeps and I'm killing that camp, like, and I still got shit to do, I'm not using everything to like my maximum efficiency. Like, yeah, it's not hard for me to get these last hits. I kill this camp in like 2 seconds. And I'm just like dicking around, not doing shits. And my other lanes are losing, and all I'm doing is like static farming. So I say, all right, I can do more than this potentially. I need to do more than this, more so than that. So I'm going to say, all right, so I'm going to farm this camp, and then instead of just farming statically, I'm going to be pushing the fucking lane. So I farm the camp, and then I just goddamn push as hard as I can and try to get Centaur to TP back, because he's just in the jungle farming his goddamn Blink Dagger up, and then he's going to get his Blink Dagger Stampede, kill my offlane, and then they're going to snowball into a win. So I need to take pressure off the rest of the map. So because of that, I'm going to start pushing.
Okay, question.
Aquila's on.
You guys are both. You guys, so the creeps. You've now pushed it so that your creeps are meeting the enemy creeps at their tier 1 in the off lane. Are you attacking the tower or are you attacking the creeps?
Hitting them creeps.
Ursi, is that also what you're doing as Lion?
As Lion, like if you're.
Are you throwing like an Earth Spike in there, or like what are you? Are you
not if I'm Lion?
Dare.
Yeah, if I'm Lion, I need to hold on to you need to hold on to the cooldown. So that so we're pushing bottom dire tier 1, we could get run up on from their shrine, right? It's an easy access point for them to fight into us. So I need to be positioned so that I can react to potential people aggressing on us. And if that lends itself to attacking creeps, yes, I'll attack creeps. But if not, I only do, like 60 damage or whatever. So I don't need to be. Here's the
real thing you did, Sam. Because the Dungeon Master didn't actually manage to pick up on this, but before we made our moves, I went over to you and I whispered into your ear, I said, hey Sam, I'm going to want to push this tower soon. Can you give me a goddamn ward so I don't fucking die out of nowhere? And then you said, fuck yeah, I'm a competent support. So because I'm like, all right, yo, I want to put more pressure on this lane, let's get in a position where if they do try to react to us, we are not caught off guard and their plan won't succeed. So what you
did... Is that ward going on the eyeball?
Yeah, that ward's going on the goddamn eyeball.
Usually.
That way you can see the shrine, so them TPing in from the shrine, as Sam said, is going to fuck us up. Or if they TP from the tower, or if they TP to the tier 2 and try walking up on us. Basically anything they do besides like smoking and coming at us from like our tier 1 tower in some roundabout crazy way, we will see ahead of time. Also, with my Quelling Blade, I cut the trees next to the tier 1 so they can't TP behind the trees either.
So you can't get surprised. Okay.
I'm really good.
Carry specific question.
Yeah,
you have spin up, you have a good amount of mana, and you have a TP on you because you're a good carry.
Yeah, dude.
And you notice that like 3 are TPing on that shrine, but this tower is like gonna die. It's gonna die, and chances are you'll be able to spin TP. Are you going to take that risk, or are you just gonna back and let them deny the tower?
I'm going to back and let them deny the tower, because I'm doing pretty well right now. The rest of my lanes are not. The last thing I want to happen is for me to take this desperate fucking gambit, and maybe it does work at best, and my whole team gets another, towers are, tier 1 towers are like 120 gold or something now, and if it gets denied, it's like 60. So it's like...
it's 80, I believe, but yeah, semantics, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, it's some, like, at most for our entire team, it would be maybe like, 400 gold or something like that. And that sounds like a ton of gold, but also if it doesn't work, like there's a high chance 3 heroes can deny a tower before I can last hit it. That's just like kind of a fact. Also, good to know. Yeah, there's just like, and if I fuck it up at all, like there's so many X factors in Dota 2, that I'm aware that I'm probably not good enough to perfectly understand everything that's about to happen. And if anything at all goes wrong in this, not only do they get the deny, but I also die, or even if they don't get the deny and I die, that's like, I mean, there's a 400 gold swing there. I'm the only one on our team doing decently. It's just not acceptable. Like, I'd rather take we got their tower. Like, the main reason I want the tower is that it's going to open up the map and it's going to like enable me to go to another lane. Now I can pressure their tier 1 well, and they can't really, they don't have a staging ground for our tier 1 that well now. So like, because the tower dies, I can fuck them all up. The gold is nice, but it's not worth fucking everything up. Also, if I have to spin TP and I take a ton of damage, I have to go back to base, and that's probably at least 200 gold I just lost, and my entire TP cooldown, and I can't farm, the map anymore, so now I have to farm from like the mid lane out, and that fucks up my mid laner's entire farming pattern. Everything gets fucked up the second I have to do that. So no, I let them get the deny, I fuck off.
Okay, so you guys are backing up. Though you know that 3 people just TP'd bot. What are you doing? What are you and Ursi doing? Ursi, where are you going?
If they're going to try to push our tower aggressively in response, I stay bottom. Then we signal for people on our team to come by. If
Where do you
not,
stand?
I'm
Where are you standing right now? I mean, if you want to defend that tower, where are you going to stand?
probably behind in the trees again if they're
Nice.
going to be pushing in.
Nice. That sounds good. Yeah. So they don't
And
even
what are you doing?
know you're there.
Yeah, and I'm putting a ward right above. So there's that tree line talking about Radiant Tier 1 bottom. There's that line of trees right above the tower. You can place a ward right above that, and it's on the high ground effectively, so it gives you a ton of vision in that region.
Kind of like
I'm
where
putting that ward down if I have a ward on me.
kind of like where the Dire off lane would normally ward to see like if you're going to rotate on
Yeah.
them, but instead now it's you seeing if the Dire off lane is going to rotate on you.
Close to the ramp,
Kind
going
of.
down into the river.
Yeah,
Close to the ramp,
it's
going
like,
down to
okay,
the
so
river.
closest to the tower, you know that little alleyway through the trees?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
It's like right
their
on top
shrine.
of that.
yeah, kind of like
Gotcha.
on the corner.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Very similar to where the offlaner can work.
Yeah, nowadays there's
It's
so
like,
many
okay,
terrains. I was trying to describe an individual tree, and I was like, oh god, is it
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a reef?
it's-
Is it
Hey,
a
There's a-
just
it's a
square?
saying,
fish.
just saying,
It's a
Roland,
fish.
you asked me about my favorite tree a while ago, and the day after you did that, I specifically remembered I cut that tree and I used it to get a kill like 3 games in a row. Just by like cut the tree as centaur and then stampeded through it because it was just one tree to cut and fucking kill the mother. And I was like, damn, that is my favorite tree.
Nice. Okay, so where are you positioned, Proud? Lion, they do want to get a tower. They
All
do
right,
wanna
so
get your
we
safe
saw
lane tower.
exactly who TP'd in because of that ward Sam place that I told him to because I'm a fantastic shot caller.
It's the
and-
Shadow Fiend again. It's the Centaur, and it's an indescript support
Yeah, it's
with
it's Rubik.
CC.
It's
Ask
With
them
CC.
nicely to leave.
Every fucking
It's
time.
Rubik, sure.
Yeah, we
it's
all
Rubik.
chat, please leave, revealing that we did have a ward there and fucking everything up, and then I reprimand Sam because that was not a good idea. And so we ping like, there's guys here, please help, please help, please help.
Undying
And,
is still doing his dumb shit top.
Yeah, so
Sounds like an undying player to me.
So maybe all right. So these guys like I can't just one Omni Slash and after that I'm die. So I'm looking at this. I say, Sam, I don't actually think we can defend this tower, buddy. And then Sam says, you're always right about these things. And so I'm sitting in
I'm
front
the
of the tower.
DM. Okay.
All right.
I'm the DM here.
Well, I know what Sam's gonna say in advance because we have that brotherly connection. Yeah. So
That's a
I mean,
scary thought.
if it's those heroes and it's just me, I'm like my initial inkling is I want to just like sit in front of the tower and kind of like bait them in, and then Sam gets like a double stun, and then we kill them all. But I only have level 1 Omni Slash, so that's not gonna happen. So like we took their tower. There's a bunch of motherfuckers here. They all just TP'd in. And my team isn't gonna come. I'm gonna TP because we used my TP because I didn't, kill myself for the tower. I'm just gonna TP top, and I'm gonna go with my shitty ass Undying who can't do anything, and we're gonna just push that tower instead.
Sam's TP is still on cooldown. He just
I don't-
TP'd in.
He's the lion.
That
Whatever.
just happened. Sam, what are you doing?
I ditch the tower and I go farm a jungle camp, or rotate slowly but surely to a different lane.
Okay.
If you're able to,
Yeah, so we
split
fuck
push
off.
or whatever,
We're
or
done with
just
this.
yeah. If everybody's gone and they leave mid open, let's say like the mid also TP top to push, I can now get that farm that I've been losing out on because I rotate mid because nobody's there, because the enemy team is pushing our tower, my team's pushing a different tower in the other part of the map. So I'm going to now start coming back into the game and getting money by going to that mid lane that is left open.
Yeah, that's a really
Okay.
good call. Yeah, we just
And I'll
saw
get
where
my
Shadow
kills from
Fiend
that,
is, and you're gonna go just take mid because our mid got their Midas. Our mid is jungling and using their Midas and shit. So yeah, you're good.
What type of boots are you getting?
Generally, it depends on the support, of course, but
On
generally,
Lion.
I'd
On
say,
Lion this game.
huh?
On Lion this game, sorry. Yeah. You're Lion this game.
If I can, mana boots. If not, I'll suck it up and buy tranquil boots.
Yeah, you're fiving with a shitty ass Undying. Good luck, dude.
But yeah. Also, if it also have to factor in, Undying is going to go mana boots in 9 out of 10 times, right? So, and our mid
He's
lane
going
is a
travels
TA.
first. He's a piece of shit. He's only interested
Okay.
in boots of travels.
Yeah, so then I'm
No, he
definitely
wants
going mana
Ags.
boots.
He wants Ags. He
Brown-
heard
Brown
that it
gets
takes
Ags?
10 strength. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
heard
cool.
that
So-
it takes 10 strength.
In those cases, yeah, I'm going mana boots. Otherwise, I'm going to go in for tranquils. That's kind of a decision you have to make depending on the game, depending on the hero, right? Like, some
Okay.
can't afford to get mana boots if your game's just miserable and you really want to have the move speed from tranquils. which stacks with Windlace, by the way. So like you can get crazy fast.
Dude, I'm just saying, a tabletop Dota 2 game sounds so fucking hilarious.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dungeons
Yeah,
and
like
Dota,
I
Dungeons
want to
and Dota.
see like all of I want to see all of Ad Finum. Or I guess not Ad Finum anymore. What the fuck's their new team name?
Mouse.
Oh, they're Mouse. Yeah,
Sports.
they're on Mouse now. Mouse is cool. Yeah, I want to see all of Mouse Sports play tabletop Dota. That would be fantastic.
That's a slash skit in the making.
This idea,
I know, right?
by the way, this idea, by the way, is already intellectual property.
We did actually patent this.
patient, so
Let it
guys.
be known.
We
that's all it
patented
takes
Valve's
for
IP
intellectual
as a
property.
tabletop game.
So good luck.
Is that actually true?
Yes, that is actually true.
We publicly say we own this, therefore we own this.
Well, it's intellectual property. We came up with it first, and we can prove that it's our intellectual property.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, this is going to get way too complex from here on out, and this was a big help to a lot of people. It's me
know that.
for the first one. Well, I like to look at myself as a lot of people. If you've seen the movie,
It's like a
Split,
royal we kind of deal.
I have like 43, going on up there. So I haven't seen the movie Split. I just know that he has a lot of different.
Yeah. You're like Legion,
sad.
only from the comic and not the TV show.
Yeah. So, but beyond this, how are you guys feeling for like on a scale like percent rating? How do you feel like you're gonna win? You won your lane. Do you consider that a one lane?
Sure.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I think so. Yeah, I took the we took the tower. Well, I'm just gonna speak me because I feel like I did everything. So I took the tower by myself. I managed to get farm despite my support not being able to zone at all, despite that being their only job. I killed their mid who won against my shitty TA by myself, and I identified a lost cause because my support couldn't save my lane, and now I am going to go save my offlaner's lane and take their tower too. So yeah, I feel like I did fantastic. I think we're gonna lose this game though.
Awesome, you guys. This was totally impromptu, and I didn't mean for it to turn into Dungeons and Dota, but let's do this again because this was really fun. And if I had like preparation, or even Denny had preparation to run one of these, it'd be awesome to see if you guys could win the game or not. And we'd do a flow chart on like if you made the right decisions to win the game or lose the game based on our dungeon mastering. That's actually like a really great idea.
Dude, there used to be like in the there was like this magazine I got once or twice with a bunch of magic cards, and it would do and they do this with Hearthstone too. They like put you in a really difficult situation, and you need to find out like based on whatever like 5 cards you have in the enemy's board, how you can do some like wild ass shit and win in one turn. Like that's
like
what I feel like this is. Yeah. Where you just get like a weird.
I have a whole chess book that's filled out where they're like you start out with like the 1 turn to mate, two turn to mate, 3 turn to mate, 4 turn to mate, 5 turn to mate.
Like Lucas Chess, the program.
I've never heard of that, actually.
It's a great free software that is just chess practice trials. It's all
I
like
believe in
these.
free things.
That's true.
I don't believe in free things. Anyway, I feel like this is a good closing area. It's just going to get more complex. Ursinity, thank you again for coming on the show, for playing .p Dungeons and Dota.
I'm a fan of this.
Me too. This turned out really fun. Is it like 3 out of 3? We all liked this?
I like Dungeons and Dota.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dota is pretty fantastic.
Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, you can find us at defenseofthepatients.com. And now it doesn't look like we are trailer trash website people. Like our website, it doesn't look perfect, but it is easy to navigate. You can buy .p swag if you want it. You do. It's pretty cool. The coffee cup's pretty cool, at least. And then people will be like, that's a cool coffee cup, and they won't know, and you'll be like,
yeah.
Little do you know.
I'm a fucking nerd.
Although I got a story recently where just 2 random programmers sitting in an office together, and they're like, one was wearing a shirt, because he bought a shirt. This is before our storefront opened up. And he's like, oh my God, .p. I used to listen to them, but I stopped playing Dota. And so there are people literally in the same office building that were coworkers that didn't know that they listened to .p.
Can we think of a different word than dungeons for Dungeons and Dota?
Dota and Dragons.
Dumbasses in Dota.
No, that's bad.
You need a noun, kind of.
Well, yeah, no, you
dumbasses is a noun, but like...
But that's not...
You need like a place.
I can't say
you
that.
Need a place.
Yeah, Sam couldn't be on that show. Or he couldn't bring it in anyways. Is there another? There's no more like general Dota thing than Dota.
Yeah, no.
Like Dyers
you wanted to
and Dota?
replace
Like
the D with Dota? Dungeons and Dire?
No, but
Dyer
then
and
it's
Dota?
like that's unbalanced because you
Dota
can't
and
just like
Dota.
yeah, Dota
Yeah,
and
Dota
Dota
and
sounds because
Dota.
it's Dota 2. Why not?
Dota and
That was
Dota
a
2.
joke.
Dungeons
I
and
don't
Dota
know.
is good.
Also, defenseofthepatients.com/Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys are keeping us afloat. We're doing a lot of cool things. Be sure to tune in to Ursi and I's show. It is today when we record it at 9
p.m.
Eastern. And that's where you can tune in live and watch it. Of course, it comes out Tuesday, but we record thing a day. Starting over, take 2. We record everything one day early, so that's why Tuesday Q&A is recorded Monday night, and so on. Check out Breaky's show this week coming up. Got a lot of good guests. Theorycraft Thursday. .p one-on-one. We have a really good guest. Haven't confirmed, so I'm not going to say. Twitch.tv/.ptv. I'm always streaming at 12:30 EST in the PM. And I'm gonna really try and focus on my Queen of Pain. I've been really loving Queen of Pain.
Oh my god, really? Dude, Queen of Pain is so good. What are you going? Well, she's not
Dumb
good.
shit.
She's
I don't
cool.
even want to tell
I was
you.
gonna say I don't
Please,
like
no.
Quap.
Please tell me. Yeah, no, she's not good, but she's like Sam,
My
when
most
7-0
recent
came
game
out.
that I lost.
Oh yeah,
she's
Oh, yeah.
my favorite hero. This
It's like the only mid that you and Skrunk both play that I can expect.
Tiny.
So I was just up against the Shadow Fiend. My most recent game, I went triple null.
No, nice. Whatever, dude. That
Triple-
sounds cool.
I went triple null into the mat. God, how do I always forget the name of this?
Veil?
The thing that required Veil.
Veil?
Well, of course I got boots. I got treads.
Oh,
so,
you don't actually need treads on because she can blink. So like, what's the point?
because
Yeah, people
the
skip treads
stats and the
sometimes.
attack
No, I
speed,
was saying
don't- I
skip
don't know.
boots. You just blink everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
Blink and
I mean,
TP?
I have
No,
seen
I'm
people
joking.
do
Please go
brown
boots. Yeah, some
Yeah,
people
my,
do bomb boots.
my,
That was
my
a joke.
skill build was fucked though because I thought that my dagger was just gonna kill
Oh, no,
Shadow
yeah.
Fiend over and over.
That dagger's
it
not
would
gonna do
have
anything.
if it weren't for that pesky jungle legion who kept coming up and healing.
Just
us
healing
and
That's
us?
purging
Oh,
us.
fucking
that's brutal.
ridiculous.
It was fucked.
It's like the
dude.
one
There were so
time a
many
jungle
times where
legion has ever helped. Yeah, that
Yeah.
situation. Okay, so I want to play Dungeons and Dota, and I'm like, oh, I skill level 2 on dagger, and you're like, oh, you queued into the one legion that helps, and legion pops out of fucking nowhere and dispels it. And I'm like, are you shitting me? That's like the max
Dude, I
level
level
dungeon.
3 dagger.
You
Level
rolled a
3
one.
dagger, and he's level 3 dagger at a quarter health, and I hit him with it, and I'm like already doing the dance, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing. Like nothing. I know he used his shrine. He is dead. He can't even make it to the other shrine by the time he's dead, and he doesn't die. And then I see Legion do it like the next time I dagger, and I'm like, oh my god, shoot me in the fucking quap face.
I want the double critical fail. Like I roll 2 1s and then my quap dagger misses uphill, and I'm like,
Or you
that's
accidentally
not
heal
how
a creep.
skills work. And then
No,
next session,
no,
I
that's-
had-
Misclick a creep.
No, you misclick a creep. You misclick a neutral creep.
I was so into
Like,
the
on
idea
a-
of
on a
dagger
critical
missing
failure-
uphill.
You
On a
blink
critical
too close
failure-
to them, and then your scream
Yeah.
of pain misses because they're in the
Yeah.
cone. They're not in the cone.
Or you accidentally heal yourself. Or you use overwhelming odds or something like that, and now you don't have enough mana to heal.
This actually
Like,
happens
there
to
are
me so
critical
much
failures.
on OD. Like when I'm
There are critical failures.
when I'm like spam trying to astral someone, and like I'm like W click, but sometimes I W twice before my click goes off, and I just astral myself,
you're
and I'm like,
like,
oh god damn it! That's why I needed quick cast on my fucking astral, dude. Well, then I couldn't do it to myself. Anyway, that's fucking obnoxious, and I hate it.
Oh, that's funny.
I do that shit on OD all the time, man. I'm fucking bad.
Also, check out all the replay reviews on .ptv1, YouTube /.ptv1. Ursi's put in a tremendous amount of work. Proud's done a couple. I've done none. Cyphus has done none.
Yeah.
That's because people don't really want our advice, but that hurts my feelings, but that's okay.
If you want me to do a replay review, you can say it explicitly, but I'm like, a very
For the most part,
weak-willed
Ursi's just
individual.
doing them.
Yeah.
And Ursi's doing a damn good job, so...
Well, he's doing them.
Yeah, I
Well,
haven't done
and
one
he's
in like
putting
a week
like
'cause I've
work
been
into
lazy.
them, though.
Yeah,
You're like doing like 90-minute games, which that's a little shitty of you guys. Those 90-minute games.
No, there's only one, and I explicitly said no more 90-minute games afterwards, and I skipped like half of it.
The
And I'm
one
sure
that
it was,
I
like,
did was
Sniper.
a 90. No, the 2 that I did were both like 90 fucking minute games. That's
Yeah.
probably
It's like
why I don't
Sniper
do
v
them as much.
Techies.
Yeah,
and it's like
I put in a rule that nothing over 70 minutes.
yeah.
So you get 69
And,
minutes every
unless
time.
it's what if it's like super epic, like Mega v Mega? I like smoked myself as a lion and got the last hit. Like that's cool, and you can like be like you can skip 30
Yeah.
minutes, but like
Well, that's what I did with the
there's
90
a
minute
really
game.
cool ending.
I was like, all right, I watched laning phase, then I times two'd for a long time, and then I watched like the last 30. Also, for clarification, they're meant to be educational replay reviews, not like, hey, cast my game. Well, I will do that if you want me to. But
Ursi's gonna turn your cool ass, look how badass I am, into an educational game. So just know that.
Also,
like he's not going to be like, damn, Jordan Hansen, he just zipped. It's going to be nothing like
you
that.
had to single one person out, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Dungeons and Dota.